Does Rwanda currently have any troops at all in eastern DRC?
I don't know.
You're the commander-in-chief.
Yeah, there are many things I don't know.
In the Western world, the news media has been dominated by the conflicts in Ukraine and Gaza. Amid this noise, one of the most significant geopolitical conflicts of recent decades has gone largely unnoticed: Rwanda's covert invasion and conquest of vast areas of the Democratic Republic of Congo. This conflict, pitting the DRC government against the M23 rebels, is not merely a regional struggle, but a proxy war orchestrated by Western powers, particularly the United States, the United Kingdom, and France, to gain access to the DRC's colossal mineral wealth. At first glance, Rwanda's invasion of the DRC appears almost suicidal. The DRC is a giant compared to Rwanda, with nearly 10 times the population and 90 times the land area. Yet Rwanda, a country the size of Haiti, is decisively winning this lopsided conflict. The key to understanding this lies in the covert support Rwanda receives from Western nations, which view the DRC's mineral-rich eastern provinces as a treasure trove of resources critical to global industries. Before we dive into the topic, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more fascinating content. And hey, we'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below. The M23 rebels, ostensibly a Congolese militia, are in reality a Rwandan proxy force. According to both the United Nations and the United States, M23 is directly armed, funded, and supported by Rwanda. The rebels operate with state-of-the-art equipment, including modern carbines, surface-to-air missiles, anti-tank weapons, helicopter gunships, artillery, and armored vehicles, hardly the arsenal of a ragtag militia. This level of sophistication points to direct backing from a state actor, in this case Rwanda, which itself is supported by Western powers. In January 2025, the conflict escalated dramatically when M23, supported by thousands of Rwandan troops, besieged and captured Goma, the capital of North Kivu province. The battle for Goma resulted in the deaths of at least 3,000 people and displaced over 700,000, making it the deadliest conflict in the DRC in decades. Yet, this humanitarian catastrophe has been met with near-total silence in the Western media. The Western world's indifference to Rwanda's actions in the DRC is not accidental, but strategic. Rwanda has positioned itself as a reliable partner for Western nations, particularly in securing access to the DRC's mineral wealth. The DRC is home to some of the world's largest reserves of coltan, gold, and tin, resources essential for the production of electronics, including smartphones and laptops. By supporting Rwanda, Western nations can exploit these resources without the political and ethical implications of direct involvement. Rwanda's role as a Western proxy is further evidenced by its sudden emergence as a major exporter of coltan and gold, despite having negligible reserves of these minerals within its own borders. The open secret is that Rwandan troops and M23 forces are plundering these resources from the Democratic Republic of Congo and smuggling them back to Rwanda, where they are exported to global markets. In 2023, Rwanda became the third largest source of coltan imports to the United States, and the European Union has signed agreements to increase its imports of Rwandan coltan. The roots of the current conflict can be traced back to the 1994 Rwandan genocide, during which nearly 800,000 Tutsis and moderate Hutus were killed. In the aftermath, Paul Kagame, a Tutsi leader, emerged as Rwanda's president and has ruled the country with an iron fist ever since. Kagame's government has consistently justified its interventions in the DRC as necessary to protect the Tutsi minority from Hutu extremists, many of whom fled to the DRC after the genocide. However, Kagame's actions in the DRC are driven more by economic and geopolitical interests than by genuine concern for the Tutsi minority. The DRC's eastern provinces, particularly North and South Kivu, are rich in minerals, and Rwanda's control over these regions allows it to funnel these resources to Western markets. This arrangement benefits Western nations, which rely on these minerals for their high-tech industries, while Rwanda reaps the financial rewards. The United States, the United Kingdom, and France have all played key roles in enabling Rwanda's actions in the DRC. These nations have provided Rwanda with significant financial and military support, turning a blind eye to its aggression in exchange for access to the DRC's resources. For example, France has praised Rwanda's military interventions in Mozambique, where Rwandan troops have protected French investments in a $20 billion liquefied natural gas project. Similarly, the UK has engaged in controversial asylum deals with Rwanda, paying hundreds of millions of pounds to the Rwandan government. Western support for Rwanda is also evident in the lack of meaningful sanctions or consequences for its actions in the DRC. Unlike in 2012, when Rwanda faced international pressure and sanctions for its support of M23, the current conflict has been met with silence from the West. This is because Western nations are now too reliant on Rwanda as a proxy to secure their interests in Africa. The current conflict in the DRC has the potential to escalate into a full-blown regional war, reminiscent of the Second Congo War from 1998 to 2003, which claimed between 3 and 5 million lives. Rwanda's actions have already drawn in neighboring countries, with Burundi deploying troops to support the DRC government and Uganda collaborating with Rwanda and M23. The situation is further complicated by the involvement of external powers, including China and Russia, which are also vying for influence in the region. If the conflict escalates, the consequences could be catastrophic, not only for the DRC, but for the entire African Great Lakes region. The last time a war of this scale erupted, it led to one of the deadliest conflicts in human history. Yet, the Western world, preoccupied with other global crises, seems unwilling to intervene or even acknowledge the gravity of the situation. The conflict in the DRC is not merely a regional struggle, but a proxy war orchestrated by Western powers to exploit the country's vast mineral wealth. Rwanda, with the backing of the United States, the United Kingdom, and France, has become a key player in this geopolitical game, using the M23 rebels as a tool to secure control over the DRC's resources. The humanitarian cost of this conflict is staggering, with thousands dead and millions displaced. Yet the Western world remains largely indifferent. As the situation in the DRC continues to deteriorate, it is crucial to recognize the role of Western powers in fueling this conflict. The exploitation of the DRC's resources through Rwanda is a modern form of colonialism, one that prioritizes profit over human lives. If the international community fails to act, the consequences could be devastating, not only for the DRC, but for the entire African continent. The world must pay attention to this crisis before it spirals into another catastrophic war.